Hey everyone, welcome to the Self-Awareness Journey podcast. I'm Melissa Albers.
And I'm JJ Parker. This podcast is for seekers of happiness and joy, seekers of a centered approach to success in life, seekers of their true, authentic selves.
Get ready for some real talk on everything from anxiety, emotions, and habits to love, compassion, and forgiveness. We know you'll be challenged and enlightened by this conversation. We're so glad you're here. Let's dive in. So, I was on vacation recently, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in this very little village in the middle of Scotland called Killin. Side note, Mitch kept calling it Killin. I was like, Mitch, stop calling it Killin. It's called Killin. And one of the things I've always loved about Scotland are all these little villages in which the communities are so connected to each other. They're just, everybody knows everyone generationally, and people care about each other like in the movies. It's just that way. On this particular day in Killin, I hadn't been feeling well, so I needed to go to the air quotes chemist, aka the drugstore. Okay. And so we walked because that's what you do. You walk pretty much everywhere in these villages. And we went to the chemist, and there was a sign on the door that said, I'm sorry, I'm closed. I am at a funeral, and I'll be back around 1-ish. 1-ish. And I noticed that all the storefronts said the same thing. So that night, we decided we were going to go to a pub. And we went to this really old hotel. The building was from the 1800s. The pub was this dark, low-ceilinged, cool, environment. And there were people that were still in that pub celebrating the life of the person that had passed away. So this is a common thing. So when someone dies in Scotland, it's what they do is they go to the church, then they bury the person, and then they all go to the pub and celebrate the person. That is what they do. So now it's like 8:00. And there is a gentleman there he must be close to 80. He's in an all black suit with a white shirt, and he has clearly been drinking all day. And he is now getting disruptive, but sort of in a sweet old man kind of way, And he had a bottle of champagne in one of those like wine cooler things, like what are those called? Like the marble, whatever.
Yeah.
And he kept about once every 2 minutes, he'd take the wine bottle out of it and he would tip it completely upside down and he would shake it to see if he could get any more champagne out of the bottle. And he kept asking for people to buy him something to drink. Every single patron that would walk by, he would say, "Can you get me something?" And then he started getting mad because nobody was. Feckin'. He didn't say feckin'. But he was like, "Feckin', get me something to drink." And as he started to be a little more disruptive, we were with Colin and Fiona. And Colin is a guy that's used to running pit crews for Pirelli tires. So he's pretty used to calling out what he sees. So he calls to the man across who is behind me. So Colin can see him and I can't. And he says, "Don't swear." Right? And it's quiet for a few moments. And all of a sudden we hear, "Shit." The guy, so, shite, and he made his voice that high. And I started to laugh. It made Colin mad. I started to laugh. And it dawned on me, it doesn't matter who you are. No one likes to be told what to do. No one likes to be told what to do. So the whole rest of the trip, whenever something was going slightly awry, somebody would say, "Shut."
From 8 to 80, no one likes it.
No one. Don't tell me what to do. And so recently in some leadership events that I was running, we had this conversation about, how do you want to be given feedback? Like no one wants to be told what to do. And it's very common for younger leaders, I shouldn't say younger, I should say less experienced leaders, to just go right for it and just tell people what to do. And then they're scared to tell people, so they often won't until something's really, really broken.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing, though, as you start thinking about about your own emotions about being told what to do.
Well, I don't like being told what to do.
Who does? Find one person. One person. Isn't that cute though, that story? Isn't that cute? That darling
felt like a movie you're describing.
Yes, exactly. To just finish that story, and then I would like to talk to you about our feelings around being told what to do. I think that's a really interesting topic. But this gentleman, 2 locals were summoned to come and get him. And they very gently and sweetly, older men, came and collected him and brought him outside. But not before the bartender said, you guys, thanks so much, and pours each one of them a Guinness. Okay? And the one brings the gentleman to his spot, comes back, grabs the glass, and downs an entire tall glass of Guinness in one fell swoop.
Jeez.
No breaks. Just go, 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 go. I was like, I got to remember this. This is like a moment that is never, ever going to be replicated, ever. It was awesome.
It was a good adventure. And did you get to the chemist?
Yes, I did get to the chemist, but not till the next day because shockingly, no one was back at 1.
No.
No one was back at 1, and they weren't back at 2. But that's a cultural norm. It was more important to celebrate that person than worrying about your shop being open on time.
Yeah.
I kind of loved that.
Lesson. I like that lesson too.
Yeah, I know. There were a lot of them. That was a really fun little time spent in Kalin. There were just a lot of really interesting things I noticed, about relationships and the binds, just the binds that tie in a community like that are so very different than how a lot of us are today, especially in bigger communities like Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's very, very, very different.
On our list of podcast ideas and things to talk about we wanted to talk about community and how community affects how it affects you and what community nowadays.
Yeah.
What it is. I mean, it feels like you stepped backwards in time.
It is. Every time I go there, that's what it feels like. And I absolutely love it. It is so, it's almost reassuring, it's almost reassuring that people have these relationships with each other, that they can be so real. Even if they are gently trying to get somebody to do something. In America, though, that probably wouldn't have been the case. They probably would have been rude with him, and they would have been harsh. And the bartender came over, and it was a young woman, and she said, "I'm so sorry he did that to you. I was really embarrassed." And we're like, "It's okay. It wasn't you." And then she said something that I thought was so graceful. She said, "This was a hard day for him." It was a hard day for him.
Yeah, that was really nice.
But even stone cold drunk, he didn't want to be told what to do.
Yeah. Well,
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something.
Okay.
So, what is your emotion if someone tells you what to do? What's your instant emotion or reaction?
I was trying to think of it. Is this generational? Is this just me? Well, because if someone tells me what to do, I'm definitely not going to do it.
Exactly. Right. You're definitely not going to. You may even do the opposite.
Opposite. Right.
You may.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know if it's a Gen X thing or just a me thing or an independence thing. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't like to be in an environment where I'm being told what to do. I will probably not do what you ask or do the opposite. I think I'm probably unemployable.
So that's interesting. So you went to this place you wondered if it was generational. Because you know where I went with it? Because I started reflecting and I was like, no, I don't want to be told what to do. I hate being told what to do. It makes me mad, actually. Even if what I'm being told is very sound. Even if it's very logical or it makes complete sense or it's for my best interest. Don't tell me. Don't you tell me. then I started wondering if it was personality driven.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You
I
don't?
mean,
Okay. Oh,
maybe
interesting.
what personality trait would make it so you don't want to be told what to do?
Well, in the two of us, if you just use our greatest two traits between the two of
this
us,
super good sample size we have here of two.
Yeah, but mine is high assertiveness.
Mm-hmm.
That's my highest construct. And high assertive is bold, I got it, don't need anybody to tell me. Okay, so that would make sense to me. Yours is high patience, which at an extreme is stubbornness. At an extreme. Of course, I've never seen that in you. I don't mean that for you. But those are the two constructs. So to me, it's like, yeah, both of those constructs. However,
well, it kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that's not true, because then you also have high detailed people. High detailed people don't want to be told what to do because normally they think they already know. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know.
What? Okay, try to think of what people do. Which people do like to be told what to do? Like,
I can't think of any. Well, okay, wait. I have an idea. People that are highly accommodating. Do they like to be told? No, they don't like it. They just don't say anything.
They just deal with it.
Oh. So nobody. No one likes to be told what to do. Okay. Well, so how do you give feedback then if someone really, really, really needs to be helped in some way? Like legitimately. I know. See, even when I said helped,
I'm just thinking
I felt like I should do air quotes.
My teenagers, I'm like, okay, you need to go do your laundry, you need to go change your sheets, you need to go empty the dishwasher, you need to go mow the lawn, you know, like this whole list of things.
Take the Dr. Seuss pile of dishes off the counter. Tell them what to do.
And it never works.
Why are we like that? Why do you think we're like that? Why are we like that?
It's because I have a need to have the dishes done because I like a tidy kitchen.
This we know. All of our listeners know.
And I also have a need to not do it. I want it done, but I don't want to do it. So how about I just tell someone else to do it? That sounds like a good solution. That's a good solution to fill my needs. I want a thing done, but I don't want to do it. So I just tell someone else to do it.
Oh, okay. I bet that works great with Amber.
Solution, yeah. Problem, solution, easy.
Solved.
It's solved. But then they don't do it, and then they get mad.
Yeah.
Right?
But as a human, why don't we like being told what to do? Because I think what I've just realized...
Autonomy? Is it because we like to be autonomous?
I don't know. What does it represent? Do you think it might be that? What do you think? Do you think it could be because if someone tells us what to do, that they are also telling us on a backhanded way that they don't think we're wise, or that we're being dumb in something, or we don't know the answer and how stupid you should?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't think anyone likes to be told what to do, and sometimes we actually need support and ideas from other people.
Yeah, because if I'm being told what to do, it's implied that I'm not doing what you want me to do.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, sure. So it's a control thing. Little control
there's a control thing.
Same.
I think part of it, there's like a values thing. Like, you're implying that I don't value the same thing you value, maybe. Like if I'm not taking the garbage out frequently enough. You're implying I'm a slob and you're not a slob.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. A values thing.
Could be somewhere there.
I think.
And I mean, as rude as this sounds, I think most people are fundamentally lazy. Like me included.
Oh, I don't agree with you. What?
I think most of us, yeah.
You mean in our thinking or in our activities?
In our doing.
Oh, I don't.
If I'm already like doing what I think is a lot, and then I'm told to go do some other stuff, like I don't want to do it. Don't tell me to do more stuff. I'm already doing all the stuff I want to do.
But that goes back to autonomy again. That's not laziness. Like,
all right, you're right. That's maybe not laziness, but there is part of being told what to do is like if I already think I'm like going 100%, then you ask me to do some more stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna snap.
Don't rain on my parade. Don't get in my patch. I hate to say this, but high patience people, they're very systematic and methodical. They, as a general construct, highly systematic and methodical. First you do this, then you do this, then you do this. And if someone throws a bunch of more to-dos, that is a very natural reaction for a high patience person to go, oh, no, I can't, that's not in my flow right now. And I'm going to be nice to you because I don't want a conflict, but I'm not putting that in my flow. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Does the way the person gives feedback change your ability to be told what to do?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, so if I'd say that this is right in the self-awareness construct, right? Like if I'm not very self-aware of like how I deal with being told what to do, I'm probably not going to be very good about telling how I approach other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So since I know I don't really like being told what to do, my general approach is to try to not tell people what to do, but maybe more like ask them questions, like or inquire about things, and not, it's just like that's like
you mean hoping
subtle...
to lead them into their own realization?
Yeah. Yeah. Things like, I mean, you're asking like around feedback. I mean, you have feedback a couple times, and because I was like, I don't know, it's a kind of a weird thing because like in a work environment, if you have a new employee that's not trained, you're often just telling them what to do.
Yeah.
And they just have to deal with that as kind of part of their training. So like, what is kind of part of training and part of learning? And this was like, this is how we do it. Here's what you have to do. Here's step 1. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. There's that kind of being told what to do. And then there's like a different kind of being told what to do. Like if I share a problem I'm having with a relationship, and then you just say like, oh, JJ, you should go march over there and tell them this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like,
you should is always a really, really good start of a conversation.
That's a different kind of being told what to do.
Yeah. You know what? Just what you just said, you identified like the only time a person is open for being told what to do is when they're in training mode. Like that, to me, that's literally the only thing I can think of is when somebody's open to being told what to do. When they know they don't know what they're doing and that someone's teaching them what to do on purpose. With that that's the goal.
Or if they ask, right?
Yeah.
What should I do?
Oh, that's interesting. So if you ask for that,
then you move yourself into that training mode.
Oh, yeah.
I might go ask a mentor, like, what should I do with this business situation? What should I do in my relationship here? Like, what's your advice?
Or what would you
do if you're
do
seeking
if you
advice?
Were me? Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Even when someone asks me what they should do, I try to not tell them what they should do.
I know. Yeah.
But it's really hard. It's really hard when you're asked,
especially when it's so obvious to you what would be done that could be helpful. Oh, I know, right?
Exactly what you should do.
People
love it, but here's the other question: why do we love telling people what to do so much?
Right,
we love that,
but we hate being told.
Yeah, what a conundrum.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's human competition. I think that we all get real short term in our goals with our relationships, when maybe it's more healthy if we think more long term. I think short term is, I'm going to win this conversation. I have an idea right now that's going to make me look good. I I have an idea that's going to help this person out.
Yeah. Wanting to be right. That's the other thing about telling other people what to do. Like,
yeah, I'm going to prove that I know better.
You want to be the one that's smart and is right and is, and that comes in a more innocent way. Like, I want to be helpful.
Right, exactly.
But is that the core? I think a lot of times the core is you just want to be right.
It's a competition. It's showing that you're slightly elevated over the scenario or the person or the topic or whatever.
Oh, what about this one? When you tell someone what they should do and then they don't do it?
Oh.
Do you love that? You're like, I told you what to do and you didn't do it.
This was
What's
a total
wrong with
hit
you?
on my ego. I'm real mad now. Told you.
Wow. There's a lot of facets to this.
Oh my gosh. And you know what's so funny? A lot of times in my coaching conversations, people will say, I know you told me and you were right. And I always say, wait, stop. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I'm partnering with you to come up with ideas. I don't have to be right. Actually, in this scenario, I would be happier if I wasn't. But yeah, people do. And they say stuff with that tone. Not just to me, but have you ever, you were right. It's like, I have to prove, I have to tell someone their idea was there. I didn't listen. I'm a bad person.
You probably have to be real gentle around telling people what to do in your profession as a coach.
100%. Most of the time.
Yeah,
most of the time. And sometimes it's required.
Tuned into how you give advice.
Yeah. Because I think, as we're talking about telling people what to do, in a role where people think that you have authority, which I never ever want in relationships, particularly coaching relationships. I would like to have influence over talking about what solutions might exist, but I don't ever want to be the one to choose what the solution should be, or, so I have developed a lot of phrases that I will use or ways of pausing that are very powerful for people. If you give people just a moment to think, it's amazing how they can come to their own suggestions and conclusions. And then you throw in a couple of really good questions, and it really helps people to break through some of their barriers on their own.
Yeah. So that's the approach of leading somebody towards something.
Yeah.
I have and everyone, if I come up with my own solution, I'm telling myself what to do, then I'll do it.
Yeah. The other thing too is, like, I'm with you. Like, when people ask, what should I do? Or they'll lay out a situation and then they don't ask you, but they sit there with it and it's quiet and they're looking at you because they're waiting for you to say something back. They're waiting for you to say something. I always ask a question instead of tell us something. I always ask a question. Well, what do you think about that? Well, what have you tried so far? Are you asking for feedback, or are you just wanting to talk? Like, I have a number of those kinds of questions that I just routinely feel more comfortable using rather than, well, you should just go say this.
Yeah, I think sometimes when people ask, they're just more looking for like validation than
100%
ideas.
Yeah. And people are much more likely to try something different and grow through the experience if they're given a couple of tools and they can figure it out on their own. No one wants to be told, because it's almost sometimes feels like cheating or a shortcut.
Let's go back to telling people what to do.
Okay. I noticed that you just
tell people what to do. Well, I think in like the work scenario, there, people get told what to do all the time at their work, but it's just kind of like sometimes you just deal with it because it's your job, and there's a hierarchy, and
you have to.
When your boss says to do something, you just have to go do it and suck it up, and who cares what you think? Not that that's completely right. There's lots of dysfunction in businesses, but what I'm more interested in is like in the personal relationships. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
In our house, we have things that just need to get done.
Yes.
And if they don't get done, like, like, that's a problem. Like, then things are dirty or messy or rotting, or the yard's a mess, or we didn't.
Dirty or messy or rotting. I feel like I need to come over and help you out.
Or like, or like, there's so much blocking and tackling with families and kids, and it is just easier to say, I need you to go do this thing now, and tell people what to do, especially with your kids, because it is a little bit of a training situation.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that kids, especially when they get into teenagers, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to get orders barked at them.
No, I think also it's easy to get like that with your spouse or your partner because you're used to being like that with your kids. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing,
Yeah, there's like that pattern habits. The parenting habit gets developed and it gets mapped onto your other relationships. That's a good call up, Melissa.
It does do that. It does do that. Let me give you a small example at the Albers house. Mitch loves the washer and dryer. He has a love affair with the washer and dryer. I have to talk quiet because he's in the other room. Okay. He does laundry every day. Every single day he does laundry. Every single day. He loves it. Okay. But he seems to
me,
have...
I'll be like, well, here's the shirt and pants. It's Oxide wore today. Wash, dry, fold, done. Like, it's 100% laundry. Laundry's all every night done. That's crazy.
Every single day. That's amazing. He doesn't do mine, though. He doesn't do mine because, one time he did a t-shirt of mine and it came out looking like something I should hang on the rearview mirror of my car, and I was real mad. So he's pretty cautious now about that. However, he has an affinity for washing and drying loud stuff at night.
What?
He's an outdoor guy, so he's constantly, he's got the things with the belt buckles
metal
and the
studded pants that he wears.
And I have had to ask. Okay, so I asked nicely several times. Hey, what are the chances that you can just not be running that dryer after 9:30? Yes, exactly. Only way worse. Way worse. All right? All right. So a couple days ago, it was 11 o'clock. Ta-chung, ta-chung, ta-chung. And it's not even on the same floor. But it was loud. It was loud. I just went downstairs. Bump, 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 bump. Just bump, bump, bump. Turn the dryer off halfway through. Just turn the dryer off. It's like... And then I state in a very loving tone, I asked you to not use the dryer that late with your loud stuff. And I know he thinks I'm absolutely crazy.
Well,
but in that situation, I asked nicely a few times, and then I get super directive, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't helpful, by the way. That doesn't help. Does not help a thing.
Yeah, well, sometimes it does. Then you're always going to be fearful that you're going to snap if he does that again. That's what I'm talking about. That's like a core values thing. Like, to him, it's very important to have his clothes clean and ready every day.
Exactly. And to me, it's very important that I get sleep.
Get some sleep. So those things are at odds.
What should I do?
I have no idea.
See, you could have told me what to do right there.
Move the dryer to the garage. Get him his own separate laundry facility in like a shed out back.
That's great. I do have a laundry client. I bet I could work that out. Oh, I love it. That's so funny. Yeah, I just think this is such an interesting topic, how we are vehemently against having people tell us what to do. And we are so in love with telling people what to do. So it's such a juxtaposed position.
Yeah. How many times have you just sat around with your friends, like coming up with all of the things that you should tell your other friends who aren't in the room about how they should run their life?
Exactly. Works every time.
Yeah.
So fulfilling.
So sometimes on our conversations, like we end with some like nice little epiphany about life or something like that.
Right.
Here we're just ending with like, I don't know. Everyone loves being told. No one likes to be told what to do. Everyone loves telling everyone else what to do. Deal with it.
We should just stop right now. Just stop talking right now. Oh, well.
My only last question is, if you are extra irritated that someone keeps asking you to do something and you're just not going to do it, how do you politely deal with that?
Politely deal with that?
Instead of handling it like your
I can tell you exactly.
bar friend that just said to like F off.
I can tell you exactly a great phrase. You can say, thanks for the feedback.
Thanks for the feedback.
I heard you. Thanks for the feedback. Then you don't have to do anything. But now they know you've heard them.
Yes. Actually, and that might be one of the keys right there. Sometimes when people tell you stuff, they are actually doing it with good intention. They're trying to be helpful, and they just want to know that you heard what they said.
Exactly.
What a great way to move on.
Did you enjoy this episode? Please go to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review so others can discover it as well.
Growing self-awareness is a lifelong journey, and there's always further to go. And it's better when we're all in it together. Please think of someone you know who could benefit from hearing today's conversation and share this episode with them. We can't thank you enough for listening. Until next time, happy exploring, seekers.